Hello, and welcome to the Dokkan battle video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the details for fusing Super 17. Now, I do think that we have another Super Vegito case on our hands, where this Super 17, he doesn't seem to be all that super, if that makes sense to you guys. Very, quirky design. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. So they do start out as Android 17 and Hellfighter 17. Now I thought just because they were both of them that they would get a lot less categories, but I was actually wrong. They actually got all of Hellfighter 17's categories, but none of regular 17. So that's very interesting. Anyway, their leader skill is Joined Forces or Target Goku category, Key 3, HP attack and defense 170%, and an extra 30% to characters that belong to the Androids team. If we go ahead and take a look at that using the link level tool, like it's not very good, I will say that. So we have Joined Forces, which is in here somewhere. Joined Forces, and then Target Goku. And then an additional 30% to androids. It looks like this. Like, it's just the android characters. Finally, this guy gets a leader skill. But if you notice something, one guy that we talked about yesterday for getting an easy 8 isn't on here, being MVP 17, which makes me think that for some reason they decided they're probably going to skip Android 17 and do Android 13 just because he actually works on the leader skill. But the problem I have with that is 13 is a Big Bad Boss's character, and if we take a look here, there's no Big Bad Bosses in that, so it's gonna be very interesting. 13 is gonna have to get that from the Cell characters, but I mean, in Cell, AGL Cell, they're still pretty good. Physical Cell's alright, but this Android team definitely could have used a little bit of help, and the fact that for some reason MVP 17 just doesn't get to work with this, he doesn't work with it even more so once we get into reading the passive, but like, you'll understand that a bit. So their super attack Hell combination raises attack and raises defense for one turn and causes immense damage to enemies. So that's stacking attack and then raising defense. So 30% defense, 30% attack permanently. That's fine. I would have liked it to be the inverse, and I feel like that would have made this guy a lot better, but hey, it's whatever. Resonance of 2 17s, key plus 2 attack and defense 100% at the start of turn. You get an additional key plus 1 attack and defense 70% if all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class. That is what I mean when I say that this guy is not going to be useful with MVP 17 at all, so I highly doubt that they're actually going to easy A him now. It's probably going to be 13, which I think like regular 17 would need it so much more because he is like an all allies defensive support of like 70%. He could be incredibly powerful in this day and age. Plus, he has damage reduction built into his passive, and I think that's just way more interesting than what 13 is offering to us. Though I do like the fact that they did remedy the fact that like Super 17 couldn't work well with the GT bosses category, so they made it more generic instead of making it much more limited. Gain an additional attack and even 70% when performing a super attack. Perform an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super attack. Perform an additional super attack if there's a superclass enemy for 4 turns from first appearance. That is really not that relevant right now. I mean, I guess technically it is, because the anniversary battle is actually challenging at the end, so you could get that in anniversary battle and the gamma fight, and that's pretty much the only real hard content in the game that revolves around super class enemies. Chance to perform a critical hit and chance to evade enemies attacks plus 17% for each attack performed during the turn. So technically, if you are fighting a super class enemy, he can get that 4 times, which, you know, that could be good. It's 68% dodge chance and 68% crit, so I definitely think you're gonna want to give him some additional. I'm trying to think of like what build I would go for this guy if you get him with multiple copies, because you have dodge and crit built in right here, but he has like literally everything built in, so I don't really know if it matters. It's probably you're just gonna want to base it off of what Super 17 is doing instead of what Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 are doing. Their transformation condition can be used when HP is 70% or below and 5 or more turns have elapsed from the start of battle. I don't like that. I really don't. When it's 4 turns, it's a little bit easier, but 5, you're just asking. That's like a whole nother turn where you could potentially get smacked up. Thankfully for this guy, actually, not thankfully for this guy, the android team is a lot of healing in it. So he's going to probably end up not transforming on turn 5. Unless you have one of the lesser units get hit a few times, meaning if AGL Cell gets smacked up a bit at the beginning, if this unit doesn't die or guard at all, you could potentially take some damage. Physical Cell can take damage. The Tech Androids on a bad turn can take damage. Super 17 only takes damage. So, like, it's definitely possible for you to get that off on turn 5. It's just going to be a little bit harder. Also, I was completely correct, by the way, in terms of his links. Brutal Beatdown, Android Assault, Shocking Speed, GT, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle. If we take a look at this guy, I'm pretty sure that's his exact leaders setup. Android Assault, Fear and Faith, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Shocking Speed, GT, Fierce Battle. Yeah, that's 7 out of 7, no? Yeah. Yeah, it is. So it's 7 out of 7 with this guy's leader links. This guy's really solid, by the way. His EZA, so this is gonna be actually a really good partner for him, especially if like as a turn, like as a slot 2 partner after he transforms. His categories: join forces, target Goku, androids, artificial life forms, inhuman deeds, power absorption, GT bosses, battle of fate, fuse fighter. The reason I say that, like, he took a little bit from the other 17, like Hellfighter 17, is because artificial life forms is on here. Notice that we don't have anything like Siblings Bond or anything like that, so he's not based on regular 17, but specifically Hellfighter 17 and Super 17, which is definitely better because they really cuck those guys really hard with their categories. So it's good that they have so many here. Super 17 comes out if you can get him out. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and greatly lowers defense. This is where I'm saying that you may want to give him a little bit of additional, so that he can do some more stuff. But I also could definitely see dodge being very good for this guy. Keep +3 attack and defense 170% at the start of turn. Get an additional attack plus 170% when performing a super attack. That means he's going to hit very hard, especially if you've been stacking a lot in the dual 17 mode. Reduces damage received by 34%, and for 4 turns from first appearance, reduce damage received by an additional 17%. So you get basically like roughly 51% damage reduction, which is like fine. Perform an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super attack during the turn in which an attack was received. Gain an additional defense plus 17% per attack received, max of 170%. That's a lot. That's 10 full hits to get his full defense. Now, the only thing really going for him is the fact that he has that massive damage reduction for those first 4 turns once he comes out. So it might be a little bit easier to build that up, but it's going to take a hot minute, especially if you're not, like, if things do not go your way, I could definitely see that being an issue. For me, with characters like this, I typically have perfectly fine luck, but usually, like, they don't end up getting super attacked, and it's typically like my weaker, like, either floater support or something like that get super attacked, and it's really sad. So I could definitely see this being an issue for Super 17. And well, I think it is good to give him more defense like that. I did feel like it should have been a little bit faster. They really like just shoving the number 17 in here. Absorb key-based super attacks aimed at this character and recover 34% of the damage as HP if HP is 70% or less at the start of turn. I dislike that ability heavily. Because the problem I have with it is, right, why are we gating his nullification heal? Like, I know it's so that you can get it the same turn that you do it, and if you're below 70% HP, you're probably going right back up to that 100% mark. But this unit exists. These 2 units. They just do it. They don't, like, they recover more HP and they just do it. So why does the Dokkan Fest have a worse ability to do that? These guys, they do it as long as their HP is above 35%. Like, I don't understand why they can't just give Super 17 something. They always have to give him the worst version of another character's ability. I don't get it. I don't understand why they want to nerf him this much. It doesn't make sense to me. And then they give him a scouter under 34% HP. What is their scouter? Because they have one too. 39%. Again, like, why? Why are we nerfing him? I know it's because they have funny number 17 and it's times 2, right? But like, I don't get it. I do not understand. And then they change brutal beatdown to fused fighter. I'm pretty sure that's probably the best case scenario. Like, what does brutal beatdown do? It's just an attack link. Yeah, I think that's fine. If it was a defensive link, that would be a little bit worse, but it's just an attack link. We also have a Dr. Mui and Dr. Gero, which is like interesting, but like, okay. So they get target Goku 3 key 130, which is fine. They greatly raise defense for 1 turn, which is pretty good. Attacking defense was 150% at the start of turn. Attacking defense was 100% when performing a super attack, very strong. Target Goku category allies key +1 and attacking defense was 30%, and gives target Goku category allies an additional key +1, attacking defense was 20% for 2 turns when collecting 3 or more key spheres. These guys are really good. Just flat out, they're good. They're very similar to Yajirobe. And I think if you're going to get Super 17, right, this character is a must run with him. Not maybe on the same rotation, but just as a must run on the team in general, because that's going to be way too strong to not have. If there is an enemy whose name includes Goku, gain an additional attack and defense plus 150%, guard activated against all attacks, and seals all enemy super attacks if HP is 70% or higher at the start of turn. That is a very interesting ability, mainly because Goku is only really relevant in Anniversary Battle. He doesn't have any real other hard content in the game. So I'm not like the biggest fan of the fact that they limit it to just Goku, but it is a thing that they have the access like to be doing. So that's interesting. And then their links here, prodigies, which I don't think is correct for them. I feel like it's stupid. There's for Conquest, GT, Scientist, Nightmare, Fierce Battle, and Fear and Faith. So they share about like 4 links with the boys Super 17. Categories target Goku, Join Forces, Terrifying Conquerors, and Battle of Wits. Wait, they're not on the... Dr. Mui's not an android. They're not on the 200% of the card that came out. That's bad. Oh, well. That's Super 17. I don't think he's all that super at the moment. I think he definitely needs a bit of help. If 13 EZAs, I definitely feel like that would be a lot better for him. But at the moment, he's just kind of here. Let me know what you guys think about Super 17 in the comments down below. If you like him, if you think he's good, if you don't like him, please tell me in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.